tonight, let your mind drift somewhere far older than the world you know. Let your thoughts travel past the noise of the modern day, unwinding the spool of time, back past the centuries of steel and steam, past the medieval stone, until you arrive at a place of sand, silence, and eternal rivers. We are journeying to the land of the Nile, where the air is thick with the resinous scent of incense, and the stone temples glow softly beneath a sky that has seen a million sunrises. This is not just a story of kings or towering pyramids, but of the very breath of the universe itself. We are going to witness the moment when the world woke up, before we surrender ourselves to the slow, golden current of the past. If you find a sanctuary of peace in these stories, please gently leave a like and subscribe to the channel, so that we may meet again in the historical dreams that lie ahead. And if you wish, whisper in the comments where you are resting tonight, and what time the moon hangs in your sky. It is a comforting thought to know that we are all drifting together, scattered across the world but united in this quiet moment. Now, adjust your pillows. Let the room grow still around you. Allow your body to sink into the mattress, feeling the support of the earth beneath you. Let your eyelids become heavy, as if weighted by warm gold coins. Unclench your jaw. Release the tension in your shoulders. Let your breathing slow down, matching the rhythm of a slow-moving river. In and out, in and out. Imagine that we are erasing the world. We are taking away the cities, the forests, the mountains. We are taking away the sky. We are taking away the sun and the moon. Close your eyes and picture nothing, not a star, not a polite patch of darkness, just a vast, watery silence. The ancient Egyptians called this state none. It is the primeval ocean. It is the endless expanse of formlessness that existed before the world even thought of existing. Imagine this water. It is not like the oceans we know today, restless and churning with waves. It is a heavy, dark, motionless water. It stretches in every direction up, down, north, south, east, west, into infinity. It is a liquid void. You are floating in this water of none. It is the perfect temperature of existence, neither cold nor hot. It wraps around you like a heavy velvet cloak. In this place, there is no sound. There is no light. There is only the sensation of suspension. You are weightless here. There is no gravity to pull you down, no buoyancy to push you up. You simply times our asterisk. This water contains the potential for everything. Every tree that will ever grow, every stone that will ever be carved, every breath that will ever be taken, it is all dissolved here, sleeping in the dark solution of the none. It is a slumber on a cosmic scale, a hibernation of the universe that lasts for eons. Feel the peace of this nothingness. There are no deadlines here. There are no expectations. There is no yesterday and no tomorrow. There is only the eternal now of the water. Let yourself drift in it. Let your mind become as smooth and dark as the surface of this primeval ocean. For the ancient Egyptians, living along the banks of the Nile, this idea of the endless water was not just a myth. It was a memory of the land itself. Every year, in the season of Akhet, the great river would swell. The waters would rise, spilling over the banks. drowning the fields, swallowing the villages. The world of men would disappear beneath a sheet of brown, silent water. To a farmer looking out from his rooftop, the world had returned to none. It was a time of waiting, a time of holding one's breath. Imagine that you are that water, heavy with silt, rich with the black earth of Africa. You are moving slowly, with the unstoppable force of nature. You are covering the land, washing away the dust, washing away the footprints of the past year. You are resetting the clock of the world. And then, in the midst of this infinite dark ocean, something happens. It is not a loud noise. It is not a flash of lightning. It is a subtle shift, a disturbance in the deep. The water begins to recede, slowly, incredibly slowly. The level of the ocean drops, and as the water pulls back, something emerges. It is a mound of earth. The Egyptians called it the Benben, the primal mound. It rises from the chaos of the Nun like the back of a great sleeping leviathan breaking the surface. It is wet, glistening with the dark moisture of creation. It is made of fertile mud, the kind of mud that smells of life and growth. Imagine standing on this mound. It is the only solid thing in a universe of water. The ground beneath your feet is soft and cool. You are standing on the very first island. The silence is broken now by the sound of the water lapping against the edges of the mound. Slap. Hush. Slap. Hush. It is a rhythmic, soothing sound, the heartbeat of the emerging world. Upon this mound, a consciousness appears. In the myths of Heliopolis, the city of the sun, they called him Atum. He is the self-created one. He did not have a mother or a father. He simply willed himself into existence out of the water. Imagine Atum standing on the mound. He is alone. He is the first point of awareness in the void. He looks out over the dark waters of none. He feels the solitude, but it is not a lonely solitude. It is a pregnant solitude. He is full of power. He is full of life waiting to be born. The source script tells us that Atum was not content to be alone. He wanted to create. But how does one create when there are no tools? No materials, no other beings. Atum looked within himself. He gathered the energy of his own being, and in a moment of divine effort, he sneezed. Or perhaps he spat. The myths vary, but the meaning is the same. He expelled his own essence into the world. From this breath, from this moisture, two new beings took form. Shu, the god of air, and Tefnut, the goddess of moisture. Imagine the feeling of the first breeze. Before this moment, the air was stagnant and still. But now, Shu begins to move. You feel a gentle current of air brushing against your skin. It is cool and dry. It carries the scent of the first ozone. It stirs the surface of the water, creating ripples that spread out into the darkness. And with the air comes moisture. Tefnut, she is the dew that settles on the mound in the morning. She is the humidity that makes the air feel alive. She is the promise of rain. Together, air and moisture begin to build the atmosphere of the world. They are the children of the mound, playing in the twilight of creation. But there are other stories. 2. The Egyptians were wise. They knew that truth has many faces. In the city of Memphis, the priests told a different story of this moment. They said it was not a sneeze. but a thought. They spoke of Ptah, the great craftsman god. Imagine Ptah, a figure wrapped in the stillness of a mummy, wearing a skull cap, standing firm on the mound. He does not spit. He thinks. He conceives the world in his heart. He imagines the shape of a tree. He imagines the flow of a river. He imagines the face of a child. And then he speaks. Be. His tongue gives shape to the thought. The word vibrates through the water of none. It is a hum, a resonance that rearranges the atoms of the universe. Asterisk. It is the sound of creation. It is the sound of things becoming real, whether by breath or by word. The result is the same. The loneliness of the none is broken. The one has become three. The static potential has become active kinetic energy. Let yourself rest in this moment of beginning. The mound is solid beneath you. The air is moving around you. The water is lapping at the shore. You are witnessing the architecture of existence being laid down. Stone by invisible stone. There is no rush here. The sun has not yet risen. We are in the pre-dawn of the cosmos. It is a time of shadows and whispers. Far away, in the city of Hermopolis, they tell of the Ogdoad, the 4 pairs of primeval gods who lived in the water. They were frogs and snakes, creatures of the mud. They represented the qualities of the abyss, darkness, hiddenness, infinity, and water. Imagine them swimming in the deep, silent and slow. They are the midwives of the sun. They are swirling together, their energies combining, churning the waters, preparing the way for the light. Everything is connecting. The mound, the air, the moisture, the thought, the deep swimmers. They are all working together in a slow, symphonic movement toward one goal, life. Feel the anticipation in the air. It is like the feeling just before a thunderstorm breaks, or the feeling just before a flower opens. The pressure is building. The darkness is thinning. You are safe on the mound. You are grounded. You are part of the story. You are breathing the first air. You are feeling the first moisture. You are waiting for the next miracle, waiting for the light to break the surface of the water. Rest here. Let the image of the dark water and the solid earth anchor you. Let the silence of the nun wash over your mind, smoothing out the worries of your day. Just as the floodwaters smooth out the desert sand, you are drifting in the time before time, and it is peaceful. The mound of creation stands silent in the midst of the dark waters, but the air has changed. Shu, the god of air, is moving. He is swirling around the mound, creating a vortex, a spiral of energy that ascends upward. From the union of air and moisture, Shu and Tefnut, 2 new beings are born. They are heavy and vast. They are Geb, the earth, and Nut, the sky. But in the beginning, they are not separated. They lie together in a tight, lover's embrace. Nut, with her body made of star stuff and velvet night, lies pressed against Geb, whose body is made of rock and soil and hills. They are locked together, entwined so closely that there is no room for anything to grow between them. There is no space for the wind to blow. There is no space for you to walk. The universe is claustrophobic. It is intimate, but it is stifling. Then, the great separation begins. Ra, the consciousness that is awakening, commands it, or perhaps it is Atum, or Ptah. The creative force signals that there must be space. Shu, the god of air, steps forward. He plants his feet firmly on the chest of Geb, the earth. He raises his strong arms and catches the body of Nut. The sky, with a great, slow, tectonic heave, Shu begins to lift. Imagine the sound of the sky separating from the earth. It is a deep, resonant groan, like the sound of a glacier cracking or a mountain shifting its weight. Rumble. Shu pushes upward. He lifts Nut higher and higher. Her body stretches. Her hands and feet remain touching the horizon north, south, east, west, grounding her. But her torso arches upward, forming a magnificent dome. She becomes the canopy of the world. Look up now in your mind's eye. See the body of Nut arching over you. Her skin is the color of the deepest indigo lapis lazuli, and as she lifts, her body becomes speckled with 1,000 points of light. The stars, they appear on her skin like diamonds, glittering in the twilight. She is the Milky Way. She is the protector, facing downward, watching over the earth with infinite care. And below her lies Geb, relieved of the weight. He relaxes. He stretches out. His body becomes the valleys and the plains. His knees become the mountains. He is the solid foundation upon which everything will rest. He is green with potential vegetation, brown with rich soil, and standing between them, holding them apart for all eternity, is Shu, the air, the atmosphere. He is the invisible pillar that keeps the sky from falling. Because of him, there is room for birds to fly. There is room for trees to grow tall. There is room for you to stand upright and breathe. Take a deep breath now. Feel the air filling your lungs. That is the gift of Shu. It is the space of life. But the world is still dim. It is illuminated only by the faint starlight on Nut's body. It is waiting for the true light. On the primeval mound, something new is happening. The text tells us of a lotus, a blue water lily. Imagine it rising from the mud. A single, perfect bud. It is tightly closed, its petals overlapping like the scales of a serpent. It rises on a green stem, swaying slightly in the breeze of Shu. The darkness around the lotus seems to vibrate. The petals begin to loosen. Slowly, so slowly that if you blinked, you would miss the movement. One petal unfurls, revealing a streak of vibrant blue. Then another, and another. The flower is opening. It is opening like a hand unclenching. It is opening like an eye waking from sleep. It releases a scent into the air, a fragrance of pure, distilled morning, sweet, aquatic, and fresh. And as the lotus opens completely, it reveals its golden heart. And from that gold, a figure emerges. It is Ra, the sun. He does not rise as a ball of fire. Not yet. He rises as a divine child, glowing with a soft, amber luminescence. Or perhaps he rises as Capri, the scarab beetle, pushing the ball of light ahead of him. As Ra ascends, the first sunrise occurs. Imagine the light touching the water of Nun. The black water turns to purple, then to violet, then to a shimmering, liquid copper. The light touches the top of the mound, turning the mud to gold. It touches the body of Nut above, washing out the stars and turning the sky a brilliant, crystalline turquoise. The world is revealed. The shadows flee to the corners of the horizon. Ra climbs into his solar barque, the boat of millions of years. It is a magnificent vessel made of light and reed. He begins his journey across the back of Nut, sailing across the sky. But Ra does not travel alone. He brings with him the most important concept in all of Egyptian thought, the concept that makes the sunrise possible, the concept that keeps the ocean from swallowing the land again. He brings Ma'at. Say the word in your mind. Ma'at. It is a soft word, gentle on the tongue. It means truth. It means justice. But more than that, it means balance, order, harmony. Ma'at is often depicted as a goddess with a single white ostrich feather in her hair. But she is not just a person. She is the physics of the Egyptian universe. Before Ma'at, there was only the chaotic, swirling water of Nun. With Ma'at, there is structure. Ma'at is the law that makes the river flow north. Ma'at is the law that makes the stars march in their fixed paths. Ma'at is the rhythm of the seasons. It is the promise that the sun will rise every morning and set every evening. It is the promise that the flood will come, and the flood will recede. Imagine this sense of order settling over the world like a warm blanket. It is a deeply comforting feeling. It is the feeling of knowing that the universe is not random. It is not an accident. It is a carefully designed house, and you are a welcome guest in it. The ancient Egyptians believed that the pharaoh's main job was to maintain Ma'at. He was the shepherd of balance. If he ruled well, the crops would grow. If he ruled well, the chaos would be kept at bay. Think of the scales of balance. Left side, right side, perfectly even. The feather on one side, the world on the other. Nothing tipping, nothing falling. Just a perfect, suspended equilibrium. This is the feeling of Ma'at. It is the absence of anxiety. It is the absence of surprise. It is the deep, resonant hum of a machine working perfectly. As Ra sails his boat across the sky, look down at the world he has illuminated. See the Nile River winding like a green ribbon through the yellow desert sands. See the first fields of grain springing up from the body of Geb. See the first birds taking flight in the air of Shu. Everything has a place. The crocodile has its place in the river. The hawk has its place in the air. The jackal has its place in the desert. And you have your place in the story. You fit here. You belong to this order. The light of Ra is warm on your face. It is not a burning heat. It is a life-giving warmth. It penetrates your skin, warming your blood, relaxing your muscles. It tells you that the night is over and the day has begun in glory. But the Egyptians knew that balance is fragile. They knew that the waters of Nun are always there, waiting at the edges of the world, waiting to rush back in. That is why the story must be told. That is why the rituals must be performed. To keep the mound dry, to keep the sky lifted, to keep the boat sailing. But for now, in this first morning of the world, there is no danger. There is only the golden age, the time when the gods walked on the earth. Let yourself sink into this golden light. Feel the stability of Ma'at in your own body, your heart beating in a steady rhythm, thump-thump, thump-thump, your breath flowing in and out, rise and fall. You are a microcosm of the universe. You are balanced. The boat of Ra sails on, moving slowly toward the zenith of the sky. The light is steady. The world is whole. Rest in the assurance of Ma'at. Rest in the light of Ra. Rest in the arms of the air and the earth. The universe has been made for you, and it is good, and it is quiet, and it is peaceful. The sun of Ra has risen to its zenith. It hangs suspended in the center of the turquoise sky, a perfect disk of hammered gold, radiating a warmth that penetrates deep into the bedrock of the newly created world. Under this benevolent gaze, the land of Egypt begins to breathe. It is not the frantic, shallow breath of the modern world, but the deep, slow, rhythmic respiration of a living giant. We have witnessed the waters of chaos receding. We have seen the separation of the earth and the sky. Now, we must turn our eyes to the lifeline that binds them together. We must look to the river, the Nile, the eternal river, the giver of life. Imagine the river flowing. It does not begin in the sight of men. It begins in the deep, mysterious south, in the mountains of the moon, in the hidden lakes where the gods dwell. It flows northward, always northward, defying the gravity of the map, driven by the will of Ma'at. Picture the water. It is not just blue. It is a shifting tapestry of colors. In the morning, under the pale dawn, it is the color of pearl and silver, reflecting the mist. At noon, under the gaze of Ra, it is a deep, vibrant lapis lazuli, sparkling with a million diamonds of light. In the evening, as the sun sets, it turns to liquid bronze and violet, and at night, under the watch of Nut's starry body, it becomes a ribbon of black silk, sleek and silent. Let us drift along this river. You are on a small boat made of bound papyrus reeds. The boat is light, buoyant. It sits high on the water. You trail your hand over the side. The water is cool against your fingers. You can feel the current. A gentle, insistent tug that carries you forward without effort. You do not need to row. You do not need to steer. The river knows the way. We are entering the Golden Age, the time the Egyptians called times Zep-Tepi, times the first time. This is the era before conflict, before drought, before the shadow of betrayal fell upon the land. It is the time when the gods walked among men as kings, and the king is Osiris. Imagine him. He is not a distant figure on a high throne. He is tall and strong, his skin the color of the green vegetation, symbolizing the unbreakable force of life. He wears the white crown of the south and the red crown of the north combined. He holds the crook of the shepherd and the flail of the thresher. He is the good king, the benevolent ruler. Under his reign, there is no hunger. Let us observe the cycle of the land, the rhythm that Osiris taught to humanity. It begins with the season of times, Akhet times, the inundation. Imagine the dry, cracked earth of the desert. It is thirsty. It is waiting. And then the river begins to rise. It does not rush in a destructive torrent like a tsunami. It swells. It is a slow, majestic accumulation of water, inch by inch. The level rises. It creeps up the sandy banks. It encircles the trunks of the palm trees. It spills over into the dry canals. The water covers the land. It turns the valley into a vast, shallow lake. It is a time of rest for the earth, a time of drinking. The water brings with it the gift of the south, the hopi, the black silt, the rich, fertile mud washed down from the Ethiopian highlands. Imagine the smell of this mud. It is distinct. It is powerful. It smells of wet earth, of minerals, of decaying leaves, of life itself. It is the smell of potential. As the water stands still over the fields, the silt settles. A layer of black velvet coats the land. This is the gift of Osiris. He is the water and the soil. Then comes the season of times, parrot times the emergence. The waters recede. They pull back to the main channel, leaving the fields glistening and new. The earth is soft, spongy, ready. Watch the farmers now. They do not work with desperation. They work with a steady, ancestral rhythm. They walk barefoot on the soft mud. They guide the oxen, strong beasts with wide horns and gentle eyes. The wooden plow opens the earth. The furrow is straight and dark. The sower walks behind. He carries a basket of grain, wheat and barley. He dips his hand into the basket. The seeds are golden, dry, hard. He scatters them. Asterisk swish. Scatter, swish. Scatter, asterisk. The seeds fall into the dark earth. They are buried. They sleep. And then the miracle happens. The green shoots appear. Imagine the color green, not the dark, heavy green of a northern forest, but the bright, translucent, vibrant green of young wheat. It spreads across the black earth like a living carpet. It shimmers in the sun. It ripples in the wind. Shh, shh. Listen to the sound of the wind moving through the miles of grain. It is a whispering sound, a sigh of contentment from the earth. The stalks grow tall. They turn from green to gold. The heads of the grain become heavy, bowing down with the weight of the harvest. This is the body of Osiris, the grain that dies and is reborn, the bread that feeds the people. Imagine the harvest. It is a time of joy, but a quiet, communal joy. Men and women working side by side with sickles of flint and copper. They cut the grain. They bind the sheaves. They carry the abundance to the threshing floors. There is no war in this world. Why would there be war when the silos are full? Why would there be envy when every man has bread? Osiris sits in his palace at Thebes or Memphis, and his law is not a law of iron, but a law of growth. He teaches men how to brew beer from the barley, a thick, sweet, nourishing drink. He teaches them how to press wine from the grapes that hang in heavy purple clusters from the trellises. He teaches them music, the sound of the flute cut from the river reed, the sound of the harp strung with gut. And beside him sits Isis. If Osiris is the earth and the grain, Isis is the magic that binds it together. She is the throne, She is the protector. She is wisdom. Imagine her walking through the gardens of the palace. Her linen dress is white as milk, pleated so finely it looks like flowing water. She wears a necklace of minute beads that rattle softly as she moves. Asterisk, click-clack, click-clack. She walks among the people. She teaches the women how to weave linen from the flax plant. She teaches them how to grind grain between two stones. She teaches them the secrets of herbs, which leaf heals a wound, which root cures a fever. She is the Great Mother. Her presence is a shield around the kingdom. The relationship between Osiris and Isis is the anchor of the world. It is the balance of male and female, earth and magic, rule and support. They are the twin pillars of Ma'at. Let us return to the riverbank in this golden age. The sun is setting now. The heat of the day is fading, replaced by a cool breeze drifting off the water. The sky is painting itself in shades of apricot, rose, and lavender. The sounds of the day are quieting down. The farmers are returning to their mud brick homes. You can hear the lowing of cattle being driven back to the byres. Moo. Asterisk. A deep, resonant sound. You can hear the distant bark of a dog. You can hear the laughter of children playing in the shallows of the river, splashing the water that glows pink in the sunset. Smoke rises from the cooking fires. It drifts up in thin, blue columns, straight into the still air. It carries the scent of baking bread flat, round loaves baking on hot stones. It carries the scent of roasting duck and onions. It is the smell of home. In the temples, the priests are performing the evening rituals. They are washing the statues of the gods. They are lighting the oil lamps. The scent of incense, myrrh, and frankincense wafts out from the sanctuary, mingling with the smells of the village. The temple is not a place of fear. It is the house of the god, and the god is a neighbor. You are sitting by the river, watching the flow. The water is dark now, mysterious. The first stars are appearing. Sirius, the dog star, the star of Isis, shines bright and blue-white in the east. Orion, the star of Osiris, follows. The perfection of this world feels eternal. It feels like it has always been this way and will always be this way. There is no concept of end. There is only the cycle. The river rises. The river falls. The sun rises. The sun sets. The seed is sown. The grain is harvested. Feel the safety of this repetition. It is a cradle rocking back and forth. It is a heartbeat. Asterisk. Thump, thump. Thump, thump. In the golden age of Osiris, there are no locked doors. There are no city walls. For there are no enemies to keep out. The desert, the red land, stays at the edges. A protective barrier. The black land, the fertile valley, is a garden. The animals live in peace. The ibis bird, with its long, curved beak, stalks through the reeds with dignity. The scribe of the gods, the heron stands motionless on one leg, watching the water, a statue of patience. The hippopotamus grazes in the marsh. Even the crocodile, waiting in the deep, is part of the balance. The fierce guardian of the river's secrets. You are part of this landscape. You are not a stranger here. You are a guest of the good king. You are under the protection of the great queen. Let your mind wander through the fields of grain. Imagine running your hand over the tops of the wheat stalks. They feel rough and dry, whispering against your palm. Imagine walking through the palm groves. The shade is cool and striped with sunlight. The dates hang high above, sweet and sticky. Imagine sitting in a courtyard of a simple house. The floor is made of packed earth, cool and smooth. A clay water jar sits in the corner, sweating beads of moisture. You take a cup of cool water. You drink. It tastes of the river, of the mountains, of the life force of the world. This is the legacy of Osiris. He civilized the world not with the sword, but with the plow. He conquered the world not with armies, but with songs and seeds. He established the way things should be. But in every story, in every paradise, there is a shadow. The light of Ra creates a shadow behind every stone. And in the court of Osiris, there is a shadow named Seth. But do not focus on the shadow yet. Not in this moment. The night is still young. The golden age is still at its height. The banquet is still being prepared. For now, just exist in the perfection of the green Nile. Feel the moisture in the air. The humidity of the river valley is a soft embrace for your skin. It keeps you young. It keeps you breathing. Listen to the frogs beginning their chorus in the marshes. Croak. Reap. Croak. Reap. Asterisk. A million tiny voices singing to the moon. Listen to the wind rustling the papyrus reeds. The tall, green stalks rub against each other. Shh. Rattle. Sh. Rattle. Asterisk. It sounds like old paper being shuffled. It sounds like the whispers of the gods. Everything is slow. Everything is heavy with fruitfulness. The world is a ripe fig, ready to drop into your hand. You are resting in the palm of the Nile. You are carried by the current of Maat. Let the image of the green fields fill your vision. Green, the color of life. Green, the color of resurrection. Green, the color of Osiris. Drift on this green ocean. Let the golden sun warm you. Let the blue river cool you. You are safe in the first time. You are safe in the garden of the world. The river flows on, silent, strong, eternal, and you flow with it. The sun of the golden age begins to dip low in the western sky. It touched the horizon, bleeding a deep, rich crimson into the blue. The shadows lengthen across the land of Egypt. The palm trees cast long, dark fingers across the sand. The air cools, losing the fierce heat of the day and taking on the velvet weight of the coming evening. In the great palace of Memphis, a feast is being prepared. It is a celebration of the harvest, a celebration of the fullness of the earth. The hall is vast. Its ceiling, supported by columns, painted to look like bundles of papyrus reeds and lotus flowers. The stone floor is polished until it shines like a mirror of black water. Torches are lit, hundreds of them. They flicker in bronze holders, casting a warm, dancing light that plays on the gold leaf of the walls. The air is thick, heavy, with the scent of luxury. It smells of roasting geese glazed with honey. It smells of bread baked with coriander seeds. It smells of figs and dates and pomegranates split open to reveal their ruby seeds. And above all, it smells of wine, Sweet, dark wine from the Delta vineyards, poured into alabaster cups. The sound of the feast is a low, rolling murmur of voices, the clinking of jewelry, the soft strumming of harps. Osiris sits on his throne. He is relaxed, his face benevolent in the firelight. He watches his people. He sees the joy he has brought them. He feels the balance of Ma'at holding the room together. But tonight, there is a new guest. Through the great double doors walks Seth, the brother of the king, the red god. He brings with him a different energy. If Osiris is the cool green of the growing grain, Seth is the dry red heat of the desert wind. He is intense. He is sharp. But tonight, he is smiling. He does not come with weapons. He comes with a gift. Behind him, 72 servants carry a heavy object. They move slowly, straining under the weight. They place it in the center of the hall, right before the throne. It is a chest, a sarcophagus, but it is not a thing of mourning. It is a thing of breathtaking, impossible beauty. Let your mind's eye travel over this object. It is made of the finest cedar wood, brought from the high snowy mountains of Lebanon. The wood is reddish-brown, tight-grained, and it releases a scent that fills the entire hall, a sharp, clean, spicy fragrance that cuts through the smell of the food and the wine. It smells of ancient forests. It smells of preservation. The chest is inlaid with materials gathered from the four corners of the world. There is ebony from the deep south, black as midnight, smooth as glass. There is ivory, creamy and white, carved into intricate patterns of protecting symbols, the jade pillar of stability, the Tiet knot of Isis. There is gold from the eastern deserts, beaten thin, tracing the edges of the lid like a river of fire. There is lapis lazuli, blue as the night sky, speckled with gold dust like stars. It is a masterpiece. It is perfection made wood. The guests fall silent. The harpist stops playing. Everyone stares at the chest. It exerts a gravitational pull. It is beautiful. And yet, it is final. It looks like a bed for a god. Seth speaks. His voice is smooth, like sand running through a sieve. I have had this chest made. He says, it is unique in all the world. I will give it as a gift to the one who fits inside it perfectly. It is a game, a jest. The guests laugh. The tension breaks. It seems like a harmless diversion for a night of drinking. One by one, the guests come forward. They treat it as a game. A noble tries to lie inside, but he is too short. A general tries, but he is too broad in the shoulders. A priest tries, but he is too tall. They climb out, laughing, dusting off their linen robes. The wood creaks softly. A dry, welcoming sound. Then, Seth looks at Osiris. Will you try? My brother. Osiris smiles. He does not suspect. In a world of Ma'at, who would suspect betrayal? He stands up. His movements are slow and graceful. He walks down the steps of the dais. The crowd parts for him. He approaches the chest. He runs his hand along the rim. The cedar is cool and smooth. He smells the fragrance. It calls to him. It promises rest. It promises a sleep deeper than any he has ever known. He steps into the chest. He lies down. It is a perfect fit. It was made for him. Every curve of the wood matches the curve of his back. The indentation for the head cradles his skull. His shoulders fit snugly against the sides. He sighs. It is comfortable. It feels like returning to the womb. It feels like the embrace of the earth itself. I fit. Osiris says softly. You fit. Seth whispers. And you shall stay. The trap springs. But it is not a violent snap. It is a heavy, decisive closing. Seth signals. His conspirators rush forward. They lift the heavy lid of cedar and gold. They slam it down. Thud. The sound echoes through the hall. Stopping all breath, they drive home the bolts. Click, click. Copper nails are hammered in. Tap, tap, tap. Then, they bring the lead. Molten lead. Heavy and gray. They pour it over the seams. Hiss. Asterisk. The metal seals the wood. It seals the air. It seals the king inside. Osiris does not scream. Inside the dark, fragrant box, he falls asleep. The air is gone, but he does not suffocate in panic. He transitions. He slips from the world of light into the world of shadow. He becomes the still heart. He becomes the silent one. The hall is in chaos, but we do not focus on the chaos. We follow the chest. Seth and his men carry the chest out of the hall. They carry it into the night. The air outside is cold. The stars are watching. Unblinking, they carry it to the bank of the Nile. The river is flowing quietly. A dark ribbon of power. The water laps against the mud. Slap. Slap. They throw the chest into the river. Asterisk. Splash. It hits the water. It bobs for a moment. Heavy with lead and gold. But the cedar is buoyant. It floats. The current catches it. The river takes the king. Drift with the chest now. Let yourself become the wooden box. You are floating on the great river. The sounds of the palace fade away behind you. The shouting, the confusion, it all recedes into the distance until it is nothing more than the buzzing of flies. There is only the water, cool, dark, holding you up. The chest drifts northward. It passes the sleeping villages. It passes the temples where the night lamps are burning. It passes the fields where the grain is growing, the grain that is the body of the king inside the box. The moon rises. It reflects on the water, creating a path of silver. The chest floats down this path. It rotates slowly in the current, round and round, drifting, drifting. It passes through the papyrus marshes. The tall reeds brush against the sides of the box. Asterisk swish. Rustle. Swish. Rustle. Asterisk. The frogs stop croaking as it passes. Then start again. The night herons watch with their round. Yellow eyes. It is a funeral procession of one, a silent voyage through the heart of Egypt. The chest reaches the delta. The river widens. The smell of the sea begins to mix with the smell of the mud. Salt air. The cry of gulls. The current pushes the chest out into the great green, the Mediterranean Sea. It leaves the land of Egypt. It becomes a speck on the ocean. It drifts on the waves, rocked gently, endlessly, up and down, up and down. It floats all the way to the coast of Byblos. There, a wave lifts it up and deposits it gently on the shore, at the roots of a young tamarisk tree, and the tree, sensing the divine presence, sensing the power within the box, begins to grow. It grows with supernatural speed. Its bark expands. Its wood flows around the chest like water. It wraps the coffin in a living embrace. It swallows the gold and the cedar into its own heart. The chest is hidden. The king is sleeping inside the tree, safe, protected, waiting. But back in Egypt, the balance is broken. Ma'at has stumbled. The news reaches Isis. She is not in the palace. She is in the marshes of the delta, weaving. She feels it before she hears it. She feels the cold wind. She feels the earth shiver. She feels the connection snap. She knows. Imagine the grief of a goddess. It is not a hysterical screaming. It is a deep, tectonic sorrow. It is a grief that changes the weather. She stands up. She takes a knife of flint. She cuts her hair. Her long, black, lustrous hair falls to the ground in heaps, like cut grass. She tears her fine linen robes. She rubs ashes on her face. She begins to walk. She becomes the wanderer, the mourner, the seeker. She walks along the riverbank. She calls his name, Osiris. Osiris. Her voice is the sound of the wind in the tamarisk trees. It is a lonely, high-pitched wail that pierces the heart. Every step she takes is a prayer. Every tear she sheds is a magic spell. Let us focus on the tears of Isis. They form in her eyes. Heavy and hot, they roll down her cheeks, washing away the ash. They fall, drip. A tear hits the dry earth. The earth drinks it. Drip. A tear hits the river. The water ripples. The Egyptians believed that the tears of Isis were the cause of the inundation. Her sorrow is so great that it swells the river. It makes the water rise. Her grief brings life to the land. Even in her loss, she gives. She wanders through the villages. She asks the children if they have seen the chest. Children see things, adults do not. They tell her, "We saw it. Lady, we saw the box of gold and wood drifting north. The river took it." She thanks them. She blesses them. She keeps walking. She walks through the heat of the day. She walks through the cold of the night. She does not eat. She does not sleep. She is sustained by love, a love that is stronger than death, a love that is stronger than the lead seal on the chest. She transforms herself. She becomes a bird, a kite, a bird of prey with long wings. She flies over the river. Asterisk whoosh. Flap. Whoosh. Flap. Asterisk. She scans the water with her sharp eyes. She cries out, a shrill, piercing cry. Kier. Kier. It is the sound of pure longing. It echoes off the cliffs of the desert. It echoes through the empty halls of the palace where the throne sits empty. The world feels empty without Osiris. The green has faded slightly from the fields. The sun seems a little less bright. The wind feels a little colder. Chaos, in the form of Seth, has taken the seat of power. The storm has come, but Isis does not stop. She is the magic that opposes the storm. She is the memory that refuses to fade. She searches every reed bed. She searches every sandbank. She searches the coast. She finally learns of Byblos, of the tree, of the king who cut down the tree to make a pillar for his palace, unknowingly trapping the god inside his own roof. Isis travels there. She sits by the well in the city of Byblos. She does not reveal her glory. She sits as a humble woman, silent and sad, but she braids the hair of the queen's handmaidens, and the scent of her hands, the scent of ambrosia, clings to them. The queen sends for her. Isis enters the palace. She becomes the nursemaid to the prince. At night, when the palace sleeps, Isis reveals herself. She turns back into the bird. She flies around the pillar, the wooden column that holds the roof, the column that holds her husband. She flutters her wings. She creates a magical wind. She mourns. Sha. Whoosh. She flies circles around the wood. She sings to the wood. Open, open, give him back. The sound of her wings is a lullaby for the sleeping king inside the tree. He hears her in his dreams. He knows she has come. Let yourself rest in this image. The dark palace hall in a foreign land, the wooden pillar standing strong in the center, and the bird, the goddess, flying around it in circles of protection and love. It is a sad scene, but it is also a scene of profound hope. The connection has been re-established. The search is over. She has found him. Feel the relief of that finding. It settles in your chest like a warm stone. The journey was long. The grief was deep. But love has navigated the map of the world. Isis rests her wings. She lands on the floor. She turns back into a woman. She leans her forehead against the wood of the pillar. She can feel the faint vibration of the spirit inside. She closes her eyes. She breathes. The tears have stopped falling. The river is full. The world is waiting for the return. But for now, there is only the quiet of the night, the scent of the cedar wood, and the presence of the two lovers, separated by wood and death, but united by magic. Rest in this union. Rest in the knowledge that nothing is truly lost. The chest floats in your memory. The river flows in your blood. The tears wash away your sorrow. You are safe. You are found. You are resting in the heart of the story. Sleep now. The goddess is watching. The god is sleeping. The night is long and peaceful. The chest has been found. The body of the king has been retrieved from the pillar in Byblos and brought back to the sacred soil of Egypt. But the story does not end with the return. It shifts. It moves from the open sea to the hidden, secret places of the earth. It moves to the delta. Imagine the north of Egypt. Here, the Nile divides. It splits into 7 branches, fanning out like the petals of a green flower reaching for the sea. This is the land of the marshes, the land of Chemis. It is a world of water and weed, of mud and mist. It is a place where the solid ground dissolves into a maze of islands and reeds. Isis comes here. She is heavy with child. She carries the future king, Horus, within her womb. She knows that Seth, the usurper, sits on the throne of gold in the south. His eyes are everywhere. He commands the armies. He commands the storms, but he cannot command the marsh. The marsh is wild. The marsh is older than kings. She steps off the dry land and into the wet. She walks into the papyrus thickets. Imagine the papyrus. It grows tall, 10 feet, 12 feet high. The stalks are triangular, thick as a man's wrist, green and smooth. At the top, they explode into feathery umbels, like green fireworks frozen in the air. They grow so close together that they form a wall, a living, breathing, wrestling wall. Isis parts the reeds with her hands. Sh. Swish. Sh. Swish. Asterisk. The sound is soft, like silk rubbing against silk. As she walks, the reeds close behind her. The path disappears. She is entering the green silence. The air here is different. It is thick with humidity. It holds the warmth of the day long into the night. It smells of deep, wet mud, the smell of fertility, of things rotting and growing at the same time. It smells of water, mint, and crushed stalks. It is a heavy, intoxicating scent that slows the pulse. She finds a small island in the center of the labyrinth, a patch of dry ground surrounded by deep, still water. Here, she makes her nest. She weaves a bed from the fallen rushes. She lines it with soft linen. And here, in the secret heart of the swamp, she gives birth. Horus is born, the falcon child, the avenger. But for now, he is just a baby, vulnerably, soft, sleeping. Isis is not just a mother. She is the mistress of magic. She is the great of magic. The Egyptians called it times Heka asterisk. Heka is not the flashing lights of a stage trick. It is the underlying energy of the universe. It is the threads that bind the stars to the earth. Isis begins to weave a web of Heka around her island. Imagine her sitting by the sleeping child. The twilight is falling. The marsh is turning from green to blue to black. The first stars are reflecting in the still water. She speaks words of power. Her voice is a low, rhythmic hum. Asterisk. It blends with the sound of the insects. The crickets are singing their jagged song. The frogs are calling. A deep, resonant chorus that vibrates in the chest. She calls upon the creatures of the marsh to be her sentinels. 7 scorpions come out of the shadows. They are not monsters here. They are guardians. Their names are Tefan, Bifan, Mestet, Mestatif, Petet, Thetat, and Matet. They crawl around the sleeping mat. They form a circle. Their armor is black and shiny, like obsidian. Their tails are raised, not in aggression, but in vigilance. They are the diamond-hard protectors of the soft child. Isis whispers to them, "Watch. Watch the dark. Let no evil enter." The scorpions freeze. They become living statues. They do not eat. They do not sleep. They wait. The magic of Isis spreads further. It enters the water. The crocodiles, lurking in the mud, close their jaws. They sink to the bottom. They become the foundation of the island. They will not hunt tonight. The Heka has soothed their hunger. The magic enters the air. The mosquitoes and the biting flies are turned away. An invisible dome of protection forms over the island. Inside, the air is sweet and cool. Outside, the world is chaotic. But inside, there is only Ma'at. Let yourself sink into the atmosphere of the marsh. It is a place of absolute isolation. No army can find you here. No spy can see you here. You are hidden by the millions of reeds. Listen to the sounds. The wind sighs through the tops of the papyrus. Asterisk, whoosh. Hush. Asterisk, the water laps against the mudbank. Glug. Lap. Asterisk, a fish jumps. A silver splash in the moonlight. Asterisk, splash. These are the sounds of safety. They are the sounds of a world that is taking care of you. Isis leans over the child. She nurses him. The bond between them is the strongest force in the universe. It is the tether that will eventually pull the throne back to the right side of the balance. But there is no rush. Babies take time to grow. Magic takes time to work. She begins to hum a lullaby. It is a song older than the river. It is a song about the sun rising and the sun setting. It is a song about the wheat growing and the bread baking. It is a repetitive, hypnotic melody. Asterisk, sleep. My little falcon, sleep. My golden sun. Asterisk, asterisk. The reeds are high. The water is deep. Asterisk, asterisk. The scorpion watches. The crocodile sleeps. Asterisk, asterisk. The night is a blanket. The stars are the sheep. Feel the rhythm of the song. It rocks you. Back and forth. Back and forth. The humidity of the marsh settles on your skin like a warm mist. It relaxes your muscles. It softens your breathing. You are enveloped in the cocoon of nature. The darkness here is not empty. It is full of life, but it is a benevolent life. The heron sleeping on one leg, the otter curled in its burrow, the dragonflies resting on the reed stalks, their wings folded. You are part of this ecosystem. You are hidden. You are safe. Isis stops singing. She lies down beside the child. She wraps her wings, for she is also the kite bird around him. Her feathers are soft and warm. They create a tent of darkness within the darkness. The night deepens. The moon climbs high, turning the marsh into a landscape of silver and ink. The shadows of the reeds stretch out long and thin across the water. There is nothing to do here but wait. The baby sleeps. The mother watches. The scorpions stand guard. The magic holds. This is the power of Heka. It is the power to create a sanctuary in the middle of chaos. It is the power to say, here, in this circle, there is peace. Feel that circle drawn around you now. A circle of protection. Nothing can cross it. The worries of the day cannot cross it. The fears of tomorrow cannot cross it. You are on the island in the delta. You are surrounded by the living water. You are watched over by the Great Mother. Drift in the humidity. Drift in the scent of the wet earth. Drift in the sound of the wind in the reeds. Shh. Swish. Izah. Sleep. The marsh holds you. The water supports you. The night covers you. You are hidden. You are safe. You are at rest. While Isis watches in the marsh, a different journey is taking place far above and far below. It is the journey that keeps the universe turning. It is the voyage of the sun. Ra. The great god has finished his day. He has sailed across the turquoise sky, aging as the hours passed. In the morning, he was a child. At noon, a strong man. Now, as he approaches the western horizon, the mountain of Manu, he is an old man. His skin is wrinkled like gold leaf. His back is bent. He leans on his staff. The sky turns crimson, then purple, then black. The Solar Barky, the Manjet boat, touches the western mountain. It transforms. It becomes the Mao Mazektet Mal boat, the Night Barqui. It is darker, sleeker, built to navigate the heavy waters of the underworld. The sun sinks. To the eyes of men, it is night, but to the gods, it is the beginning of the great work. Ra enters the Duat. Imagine the Duat. It is not a place of fire and brimstone. It is a vast, subterranean river valley. It is the reflection of the Nile, but it flows through the land of shadows. The sky here is not blue. It is the color of obsidian, studded with stars that hang low, like lamps. The river is thick and black. It flows silently. The boat glides onto this dark water. It does not use a sail, for there is no wind in the Duat. It is towed. Look at the banks of the river. There are jackals with golden collars pulling the ropes. There are spirits of the justified dead, chanting in low voices. Asterisk, heave. Pull, heave. Pull, asterisk. The boat moves with a steady, rhythmic motion. The journey takes 12 hours, 12 gates, 12 transformations. We pass through the first hour. The water is calm. The spirits on the shore cheer for Ra. They are happy to see the light, even for a moment. Ra shines upon them, and they wake up from their sleep. When he passes, they wrap themselves in their darkness again and rest. It is a cycle of brief awakening and long sleep. The boat moves deeper. The second hour, the third hour, the air gets heavier. The silence gets deeper. We are approaching the midnight hour, the deepest point of the earth. Here, the water becomes turbulent. Sandbanks rise from the depths. And here, waiting in the darkness, is the enemy, Apophis, the serpent, Apep. He is not a god. He is older than gods. He is the remnant of the nun that was not formed into order. He is the embodiment of chaos. He is a colossal snake, coils endless, scales the color of flint and void. His eyes are hypnotic swirls of nothingness. He lies in the path of the boat. He wants to swallow the water. He wants to strand the sun. He wants to stop the clock of the universe so that morning never comes. His voice is the sound of static, a dissonant, grinding noise that hurts the ears. Hiss, crack, hiss, crack. The crew of the solar boat steps forward. Seth stands at the prow, spear in hand. But tonight, we do not focus on the violence of the spear. We focus on the magic. We focus on the voice. Thoth, the god of wisdom, with the head of an ibis bird, steps forward. He holds a scroll. Isis stands beside him. They do not shout. They do not scream. They begin to chant. It is a chant of binding, a chant of lulling. Get back. Crawling one. Asterisk, asterisk. Sink down. Heavy one. Asterisk, asterisk. Your coils are heavy. Your eyelids are heavy. Asterisk, asterisk. The water is deep. The mud is soft. The magic of Thoth is not a weapon of destruction. It is a weapon of sedation. He weaves words of power that wrap around the serpent like chains of silk. Asterisk, sleep. Apophis, sleep. Asterisk, asterisk. The darkness is your bed. The sand is your pillow. Asterisk, asterisk. Close your eyes. Close your mouth. Asterisk, asterisk. Let the boat pass. The serpent rears up, trying to strike, but the words hit him like waves of heavy fog. His head sways. Left. Right. Left. Right. The hypnotic rhythm of the chant enters his mind. The chaos is not destroyed. It is neutralized. It is pacified. Imagine the great coils of the snake beginning to loosen. The tension leaves his body. He sinks lower into the water. The grinding noise fades, replaced by a low, rhythmic vibration. It is the sound of the universe balancing itself. Isis pours magic into the water. The river rises. It lifts the boat over the back of the sleeping serpent. The boat glides over the obstacle. It moves silently, smoothly. The jackals pull. Asterisk, heave. Sure. Heave. Sure. They pass the danger point. The serpent is left behind in the darkness, slumbering in the mud of the abyss. The threat of non-existence has been met with the power of order. Ma'at has prevailed. The boat moves into the later hours. The 6th hour. The 7th hour. The tension dissolves. Now, the process of regeneration begins. Ra has been an old man. Now, he must become young again. Imagine the boat entering the body of the great serpent of time, a different snake, a benevolent one. The boat enters the tail and passes through the body. Inside, the years are stripped away, the wrinkles smooth out, the gray beard falls away. The weariness of the day is shed like an old skin. The boat emerges from the mouth of the serpent, and standing on the deck is not an old man, but a young boy, Khepri, the dawn beetle. He glows with new light. He is vibrant. He is full of energy. The journey is almost done. The eastern horizon is ahead, the mountain of Baku. The gates of the morning are opening. The turquoise light of the sky is bleeding into the black of the Duat. But for you, the journey ends here. In the quiet transition, you have survived the night. You have passed the serpent. You have witnessed the renewal. You are on the boat. You are safe. The motion is smooth, endless, eternal. Feel the rhythm of the tow ropes. Pull, glide, pull, glide. The water of the underworld is cool and still. The stars above are your guardians. The gods are your crew. There is nothing to fear in the dark. The dark is simply the place where the light is reborn. The serpent sleeps. The chaos sleeps. The noise of the world sleeps. You are floating on the river of night, carried toward the dawn, but resting in the shadows. Let the chanting of Thoth echo in your mind. A low, monotonous, comforting drone. Safe passage. Safe passage. Asterisk, asterisk, drifting, drifting. Asterisk, asterisk. through the gates, through the hours. You are weightless. You are part of the cycle. The boat sails on, into the silence, into the peace, into the deep, velvet embrace of the eternal night. The solar barquet has completed its journey through the 12 hours of the night. The serpent of chaos has been lulled to sleep. The sun has been reborn in the eastern sky. But for the soul, for you, the traveler, on this eternal river, there is one final destination before the ultimate rest can begin. You must leave the boat. You must step off the flowing water and onto the solid, silent shore of the deep afterlife. You find yourself standing before a gateway. It is not a gate of wood or iron. It is a gate of light and shadow, towering high into the twilight gloom. This is the entrance to the Times Hall of Ma'at *, the Hall of Two Truths. It is the place where the burdens of the earthly life are measured and ultimately released. The air here is cool. It is the perfect, preserved coolness of a sanctuary hidden deep within the earth, untouched by the scorching heat of the desert sun above. It smells of ancient stone, granite, and limestone that have stood since the foundation of the world. It smells of resin and myrrh, a dry, preservationist scent that clears the mind and calms the heart. From the shadows, a figure emerges to guide you. He moves without sound. His feet, wrapped in soft linen sandals, make no noise on the polished stone floor. He is tall, elegant, and radiates a profound stillness. He has the body of a man, bronzed and perfect, wearing a kilt of white linen and a collar of gold, but his head is that of a jackal. This is Anubis, the guardian, the opener of the ways. His fur is black, not the black of death, but the black of the fertile soil, the black of regeneration. His ears are tall and pointed, pricked to hear the whispers of the soul. His eyes are dark, gentle, and knowing. He does not speak. In this hall, words are unnecessary. Intentions are everything. He extends a hand. It is a gesture of invitation, not command. You take his hand. His skin is cool and dry. You feel a sense of immediate safety flowing from him. He is the guide who has led millions of souls before you. He knows the way. You do not need to be afraid. He leads you forward. You walk together into the great hall. Imagine the vastness of this space. It is a forest of columns. The columns are massive, thick as ancient redwood trees, carved from solid stone. They rise up, 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 disappearing into the gloom above. The ceiling is so high it cannot be seen, but it is painted to look like the night sky, a deep, endless indigo, studded with 5 pointed golden stars. The floor is made of alabaster. It is translucent, milky white, glowing with a soft inner light. As you walk, you can see your own reflection in the stone, a pale ghost moving beside you. Step, silence, step, is silence. Asterisk, the rhythm of your walking is the only clock in this timeless place. Lining the walls of the hall are the assessors, 42 divine judges, but do not picture them as terrifying inquisitors. Picture them as statues, seated in niches along the wall. They are wrapped in linen, silent and still. They are the witnesses. They represent the 42 aspects of Ma'at, They are not here to punish you. They are here to acknowledge your release. You walk past them. Anubis leads you deeper into the hall. You feel the weight of your life on your shoulders. The memories, the worries, the regrets, the things you said, the things you did not say, the anger you held on to, the sadness you carried. In the world above, these things felt heavy. They felt like stones in a sack that you had to carry every day. But here, in the cool air of the hall, the sack is beginning to loosen. You approach the center of the hall. There, standing in a pool of light, is the focal point of the universe. The scale. It is a massive set of balances, crafted from pure gold. It stands on a pedestal of black granite. The central pillar is straight and true, the symbol of the world axis. The crossbeam is perfectly horizontal. From the ends of the beam hang two pans, suspended by chains of silver links. The chains are motionless. The pans are empty, waiting. Beside the scale stands another figure. It is Thoth, the scribe of the gods. He has the head of an ibis bird, with a long, curved beak. He holds a palette and a reed brush. He stands ready to record the verdict. He is the embodiment of wisdom and objectivity. He does not judge. He simply observes the truth. Anubis leads you to the scale. He turns to you. He looks into your eyes. He nods gently. It is time. It is time to give up your heart. In ancient Egypt, the heart, the times, Ib times, was the seat of intelligence, emotion, and memory. It was the record of your entire existence. Everything you ever felt, everything you ever chose, is stored in the heart. Imagine reaching into your chest. There is no pain, only a strange sensation of detachment. You take out your heart. It is not a bloody organ of flesh. It is a vessel, a beautiful jar of red stone, pulsing with a soft, warm light. It contains your life. You hand it to Anubis. He takes it with infinite care. As if it were a fragile bird, he places it into one of the golden pans of the scale. Clink. The pan sinks down. The weight of the heart pulls the silver chain taut. The heart is heavy. It is heavy with the gravity of the earth. It is heavy with the complexity of being human. Now, Anubis turns to the other side. He reaches into the air. A single white feather drifts down. It is the feather of Ma'at, the feather of truth. It is an ostrich feather. Pure white. Flawless. It glows with a faint, pearlescent shimmer. It represents the perfect order of the universe. It represents lightness. It represents the absence of guilt, the absence of chaos, the absence of heaviness. Anubis places the feather onto the second pan. Hush. The feather lands. It looks as light as air, yet it has a spiritual weight that balances the stars. And now, the weighing begins. This is the moment of suspension, the moment of breath-holding. The crossbeam of the scale begins to move. Imagine the mechanism. It is smooth, oiled by the gods. There is no friction. The beam tilts. The heart pan is low. The heart is heavy. It holds the memories of stress, of rush, of noise. But this is not a test you can fail if your intention is rest. This ritual is not about condemning you. It is about purifying you. It is about allowing you to let go of the heaviness so that you can enter the fields of peace. You must help the scale. You must unburden the heart. Stand there in the silence and look at your heart in the golden pan. Speak to it, not with words, but with feeling. Asterisk, let go of the worry. Asterisk, you whisper to the heart. Imagine the worry evaporating from the red stone vessel like steam. It rises up and disappears into the vast ceiling. The heart gets a little lighter. The pan rises a fraction of an inch. Asterisk, let go of the regret. Asterisk, you whisper. Imagine the regret as dark sand at the bottom of the jar. You pour it out. It vanishes before it hits the floor. The heart gets lighter. The pan rises more. Asterisk, let go of the anger. Asterisk, asterisk, let go of the ambition. Asterisk, asterisk, let go of the need to control. Asterisk, asterisk, let go of the sorrow. With every release, the heart becomes pure. It sheds the layers of earthly dust. It begins to glow brighter. It transforms from a stone of burden into a gem of light. Watch the beam of the scale. It is moving slowly. Tantalizingly, the side with the feather is coming down. The side with the heart is going up. They are seeking equilibrium. Thoth watches with his unblinking bird eyes. His reed brush hovers over the scroll. He is waiting for the 0 point. Anubis stands beside the mechanism. He places one finger on the central pillar, sensing the vibration of the balance. He is the steadying hand. The hall is absolutely silent. There is no sound of breathing. There is no sound of wind. Even the stars on the ceiling seem to be holding still. All of existence is focused on this golden instrument. Left side. Right side. Heart. Feather. Life. Truth. The beam oscillates gently. Up. Down. Up. Down. The movement gets smaller and smaller. The dampening of the swing. It is like a pendulum coming to rest. And then it happens. The beam stops. It is perfectly horizontal, a straight line of gold. The heart and the feather are level. The heart is as light as the feather. You have done it. You have released the weight of the world. You have achieved times, Ma'at asterisk. You have achieved balance. Thoth lowers his brush. He writes on the scroll. The sound of the reed on the papyrus is loud in the silence. Asterisk, scratch. 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 Asterisk. It is the sound of your name, being written in the book of eternity. He speaks. His voice is deep and resonant, like the echo in a canyon. Ma khairu. He says, asterisk, true of voice. The heart is true. The balance is perfect. No evil is found. No heaviness remains. The gates are open. A wave of relief washes over you. It is a physical sensation. It starts at the top of your head and flows down to the soles of your feet. It feels like warm water washing away grime. It feels like a tight knot in your chest suddenly unraveling. The tension you have carried for years, the tension of survival, the tension of work, the tension of time, it all dissolves. It falls away from you like a heavy coat sliding to the floor. You are light. You are weightless. You feel as if you could float up to the ceiling and drift among the painted stars. Anubis smiles. It is a rare, gentle expression on the jackal's face. He reaches out and takes the heart from the pan. He hands it back to you, but it is different now. It is no longer a heavy burden. It is light. It is warm. It is pulsing with a clean, golden rhythm. You place it back in your chest. It settles there, calm and steady. Asterisk, thump, thump. The feather remains on the scale, a white symbol of the peace you have attained. Anubis turns. He gestures to the far end of the hall. There, a great pair of doors is opening. They are made of electrum, a mixture of gold and silver. They shine with a brilliance that hurts the eyes, yet beckons the soul. Beyond the doors, there is a light, not the harsh light of the desert sun, but the soft, eternal, golden light of the afternoon. Go. Anubis whispers. His voice is the sound of the wind in the palms. The hard journey is over. The trial is finished. You are justified. You take a step forward. You feel different. Your feet feel lighter on the alabaster floor. You are no longer the tired traveler who boarded the boat. You are purified. You are essential. You are simply you. You walk past the scale. You walk past Thoth, who bows his head in respect. You walk past the silent judges. They seem to fade into the stone. Their job done. You approach the open doors. The light spills out, warming your face. You can smell something coming from beyond the threshold. It is not the smell of incense or stone anymore. It is the smell of green things. It is the smell of water and reeds and blooming lotuses. It is the smell of a garden that never dies. You pause at the threshold. You look back one last time at the Hall of Two Truths. It stands silent and majestic in the gloom. It was a place of judgment. Yes, but it was also a place of healing. It was the place where you learn to let go. You turn your face to the light. You step through the doors. You leave the darkness behind. You leave the weight behind. You leave the history behind. You are stepping out of time and into eternity. And as you cross the threshold, the doors begin to close behind you, slowly, silently, sealing the past away. Click. You are on the other side. You are free. The doors of Electrum have closed behind you, sealing away the hall of judgment, sealing away the scales, sealing away the anxieties of the test. You have crossed the threshold. You have stepped out of the shadow and into the light. You are standing now in a place that feels instantly, heartbreakingly familiar. It is a landscape that you have known in your dreams, a landscape that has been etched into your soul before you were even born. The ancient Egyptians called it Sekhet Aru, the field of reeds. It is Egypt, but it is Egypt perfected. It is the world you knew, but washed clean of all dust, all decay, all pain. Look around you. The light here is extraordinary. It is not the blinding white glare of the noon desert that you remember from the earth. It is a soft, saturated, golden light. It looks like the light of the late afternoon, that magic hour when the sun kisses the world with amber and honey, making every color glow with an inner fire. But here, the sun never sets. It hangs forever in that perfect position, warming the skin without burning, illuminating without blinding. It is an eternal, golden afternoon. You are standing on the bank of a river. It is the celestial Nile. It flows slowly, a ribbon of pure, living turquoise. The water is so clear that you can see the white pebbles on the bottom, shining like pearls. You can see the silver fish darting through the currents, their scales catching the light. Kneel down on the bank. The grass is thick and soft, a carpet of emerald green. It is cool to the touch. You reach out your hand and touch the water. It is cool, refreshing, vibrating with life. You cup your hands and bring the water to your lips. You drink. It tastes of life. It tastes of purity. It washes away the last residues of the journey, the dust of the tomb, the smoke of the underworld, the dryness of fear. As you drink, you feel a revitalization spreading through your veins. You are not just quenching your thirst, you are drinking immortality. You are drinking the essence of the river that flows forever. Now, stand up and look at the fields. They stretch out before you, endless and flat, a vast ocean of abundance. These are the fields of Iaru. The grain here grows taller than any grain on earth. The stalks of wheat are 7 cubits high. They stand straight and proud, golden brown, heavy with kernels. They sway gently in a breeze that smells of baking bread and blooming clover. Shh, sha, sha. Listen to the sound of the wind in the grain. It is a continuous, soft, rustling song. It is the earth singing to itself. It is a sound that lulls the mind, a sound that says times, there is enough. There is always enough. You begin to walk through the field. The stalks part before you, making a path. You run your hands over the heads of the wheat. They feel rough and dry and warm. You feel the texture of the abundance. In this world, there is work, but it is not toil. It is not the back-breaking labor of the mortal world. Here, when you plow, the earth opens willingly. When you sow, the seeds sprout instantly. When you harvest, the sickle moves effortlessly. Like a conductor's baton, the work here is a joy. It is a celebration of life. It is the feeling of accomplishment without the feeling of exhaustion. You see figures in the distance. They are working in the fields, but they are smiling. They are wearing robes of dazzling white linen that never stains, never tears. They are the blessed dead, the Aku, the shining ones. You walk towards them, and as you get closer, you realize who they are. They are the people you loved. They are the ancestors, the grandparents who held you when you were a child, the friends who left too soon, the companions of your heart. They look different here. They are restored. The lines of age have been smoothed away from their faces. The clouded eyes are clear and bright. The bent backs are straight. They are radiating health and youth. They are the best versions of themselves, preserved forever in the amber light of Aru. They see you. They stop their work. They smile. It is a smile of infinite welcome. There is no shock, no frantic reunion. It is a quiet, deep recognition. They have been waiting for you. They knew you would come. You walk among them. You do not need to speak. The connection is deeper than words. You feel the warmth of their presence. You feel the completion of the circle. You are no longer alone. The loneliness of the individual life has dissolved. into the communion of the eternal family. You continue your walk. You pass through the fields and come to a house. It is your house, but it is the house you always dreamed of. It is built of white limestone, cool and solid. It has a courtyard in the center, shaded by a great sycamore tree, the tree of the goddess Hathor. Walk into the courtyard. The air is cool here, protected from the sun. The floor is paved with smooth stones. In the center is a pool of water, filled with blue lotus flowers that are always in bloom. Under the tree, there is a low table set with food. Look at the feast. It is a meal that never ends. There are round loaves of bread, warm from the oven. There are baskets of figs and dates, sticky with sweetness. There are grapes covered in a fine silver dust. There are jars of cool beer and sweet wine. You sit down. You eat. The food tastes richer than any earthly food. It satisfies a hunger that is deeper than the stomach. It nourishes the ka, the spirit. You sit under the sycamore tree. You listen to the rustle of its broad, green leaves. Asterisk rustle. Hush. Rustle. Hush. Asterisk. The tree is alive. It is a goddess watching over you. It offers you shade and rest. You look around your eternal home. You see the board game. Senate. Set up on a table. The pieces are made of ivory and ebony. You play a game against an invisible opponent, or perhaps against fate itself. But here, you always win. Or perhaps, here, winning and losing do not matter. Only the playing matters. Time behaves differently here. In the world above, time was a river that dragged you forward, aging you, wearing you down. Here, time is a lake. It is still. It does not move. You are in the everlasting now. There is no tomorrow to worry about. There is no yesterday to regret. There is only this perfect, golden moment, stretching out forever. You feel a profound sense of relaxation settling into your bones. It is deeper than sleep. It is a total unclenching of the soul. The anxiety that you carried all your life, the fear of death, the fear of loss, the fear of not being enough, it is all gone. It has evaporated like mist in the morning sun. You are enough. You are here. You are safe. As you sit in the courtyard, the light begins to change. The golden afternoon deepens into a magical twilight. It is not the darkness of the underworld. It is the velvet blue of the cosmic ocean. You look up. The roof of the sky opens. You see the goddess Nut. She is arching over the field of reeds. Her body a bridge of stars. She smiles down at you. Her face is the face of the night, calm and beautiful. And you realize that there is one final transformation waiting for you. You are not just a spirit in the garden. You are destined for the sky. You feel yourself becoming lighter. The gravity of the earth, even the perfected earth of Aru, loses its hold on you. You begin to rise. You float up from the courtyard. You float up past the leaves of the sycamore tree. You float up above the fields of golden grain. You see the river winding below you, a silver thread. You rise into the blue. You are becoming in time's asterisk, a being of light. You join the stars. The Egyptians called them the times Ikemusek, asterisk, the imperishable ones, the circumpolar stars. the stars that never set, the stars that never disappear below the horizon. They circle the North Pole star in an eternal dance, always visible, always awake, always watching. You take your place among them. You become a point of light in the body of Nut. Imagine the view from here. You are high above the world. You are looking down at the land of Egypt. Far, far below, you see the Nile River, a dark snake winding through the desert. You see the lights of the villages, tiny flickering sparks. You see the great pyramids of Giza, standing silent and geometrical in the moonlight. They are the anchors of the earth, pointing up at you. You feel a profound silence. It is the silence of space, the silence of the cosmos. It is a cold, clean, perfect silence. You are watching over the world. You are one of the guardians now. You see the cycles of time turning below you day and night, season after season, century after century. But you are outside of it. You are fixed. You are eternal. You feel a sense of absolute peace. You are connected to everything, yet attached to nothing. You are part of the vast, intricate clockwork of the universe. You watch the sun god Ra sailing his boat in the river below, beginning his night journey again. You wave to him. You know he will succeed. You know the sun will rise, because Ma'at is holding the world together. You are safe in the sky. Now, let your awareness drift back down. Slowly, gently, drift down from the stars. Drift down through the velvet night. Drift back to the field of reeds. Lower yourself back into the garden, back to the courtyard, back to the soft bed prepared for you under the sycamore tree. It is time to sleep. Not the sleep of the weary, but the sleep of the satisfied, the sleep of the completed. You lie down on the bed. The linen sheets are cool and smooth. The pillow is soft. The air is filled with the scent of the night-blooming lotus. You close your eyes. You listen to the silence of paradise. It is a silence that hums with life. You feel the presence of the gods around you. Osiris is the earth beneath you. Nut is the sky above you. Shu is the air in your lungs. Isis is the magic in your dreams. You are held. You are protected. You are loved. Let go of the last thread of consciousness. Let go of the need to be awake. The journey is over. The boat has docked. The scales have balanced. The harvest is gathered. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to achieve. Just rest. Sink deeper into the mattress. Feel your body becoming heavy, becoming part of the earth. Your breath is slow and steady. In, out, in, out. It is the rhythm of the Nile. Your heart is calm. Asterisk, thump. Thump. It is the rhythm of the drum. You are drifting into the deepest, darkest, most peaceful sleep you have ever known. It is a sleep that will last for 1,000,000 years. The stars are watching. The river is flowing. The sand is shifting. Everything is well. Everything is in its place. Ma'at is restored. You are safe. You are home. Sleep now. Good night.